It's my pleasure to welcome Keith Marty, Superintendent of the Parkway School District in Missouri, just down the road from me, and Monica Kelsey Brown, Assistant Superintendent of the Brown Deer School District, to the stage.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. Before I talk about our honored new president, I do want to say I'm maybe the only person in the room that had the pleasure to know both Chris and Debbie very, very well. And on behalf of the Missouri contingent and all the people in the audience who have a chance to work with Chris this year, we just want to say, Chris, thank you for your service this year. We've been very, very proud. You've done an excellent job. You've represented Missouri and certainly the whole nation very well. Congratulations, Chris. Thanks for your leadership. Well, it's been nearly 15 years since I first met Deb Kerr. That energetic, enthusiastic, and outgoing person and young leader that I encountered was the superintendent of the Trevor-Wilmot Consolidated District on the Illinois-Wisconsin border. And it's pretty much that high energy and passionate, friendly, and caring person I still adore today. Once you get to know Debbie, as I have, you have a friend and a colleague for life. In both Trevor-Wilmot and then a few years later in Brown Deer, I had the pleasure to facilitate strategic planning processes for Debbie and her district. In Brown Deer, Debbie assumed the leadership of a school district in transition and, frankly, a bit divided. The community's demographics were changing fast. Student performance is not where it should have been, and there was not a clear focus on instruction, student learning strategies, student expectations, and adult professional development. Well, things have changed in Brown Deer. Now, 12 years later, the Brown Deer School District is a shining example of what can be accomplished when students become the focus and focus for all. Equity is the work that has been enhanced in the district. Pride and character are part of the work each day, and the community is encouraged to engage with the school personnel in that vital work. We saw an example of that tonight, and there's a lot of people here from Brown Deer in the celebration of Debbie's leadership. In the center of all this success is Deborah Kerr, but she will be the last one to say she led the work or take the credit for the Brown Deer turnaround. One of Debbie's outstanding characteristics, of many she has, is to ensure everyone shares in the work, in the successes and in the celebration. And Debbie would say much of the credit goes to her colleagues, the community, and yes, to her students, as this is a leader who makes students the center and focus, again, as we've seen here tonight. She has faith in her students, she loves her students, and it's very, very apparent every time you talk to Debbie or see her work, and as she talks about her school district and her leadership and her students. There's much to admire about Debbie Kerr: her can-do attitude, her optimism, her commitment to diversity, her kindness and cheerfulness. Those of you who know Debbie, have you ever seen her have a bad day? Have you ever seen her frown? I don't think in the many years I've known Debbie have I ever seen her in a bad mood and having a bad day. She is very ethical and professional, carries herself very well, and she's committed to public education. Its promises and its hope for all students of all backgrounds, which is so apparent in her leadership in Brown Deer. And now here is the good news. The nation, our public educators, our leaders, politicians, and government leaders, and all of us are going to have the opportunity to get to know this wonderful person and this warm, compassionate, and proven successful leader, Dr. Kerr. It is truly my pleasure to be part of this installation ceremony. A year ago, after Chris was installed, Debbie and I had breakfast the following morning, and she asked if I would take on this role tonight. Frankly, I got choked up because I admire Debbie so much and admire her work and the person she is. So, thank you, Debbie. It is truly my utmost admiration that I introduce you tonight as our new AASA president. Congratulations. We love you and wish you the best in the coming year. And now Debbie's colleague, Monica.
Good evening, everyone. First, let me say, I am honored to have been asked by Dr. Kerr to speak on her behalf at such a prestigious occasion as today. Deb, today we salute you and we support you. Those of us who have been coached or guided under the auspices of your leadership for a minute, a day, an hour, or several years can forecast the future and confidently say that you will serve as the most amazing president of AASA, a position that has been earned and is well deserved. For the past 13 years, and let me say, I've only known Deb for 4 years, but I've learned so much under her leadership. But I will say for the past 13 years, as Deb has served as the superintendent of the Brown Deer School District, I have come to learn that Deb is determined, Deb leads with equity, she is bold, she believes in the work, she is knowledgeable, enthusiastic, responsive, and reaches far beyond herself to build relationships, to plan strategically, to get several referenda passed. Her ability to establish partnerships, engage the community, engage the staff, engage our students have all been keys to her success in the Brown Deer School District. Now, each one of those aforementioned descriptions as identified by the letters in her name, so if you were keeping up with me, those are all adjectives to describe the letters in Deb's name. But one letter, if I had a choice to add one letter to your name, Deb, I would say it's a V, because you are truly a visionary. You have led the Brown Deer School District in such a way that's incomparable to anyone else in the state of Wisconsin. And so we, the Brown Deer family, are pleased to be able to support you in this endeavor today. Deb shows up every day in every way. And Keith, as you said, we never see Deb have a bad day. And if we do see one, which is not often, really, quite honestly, we know that it's something that she's really adamant about making happen for our students in the Brown Deer School District. In Deb's world, can't means can, no means yes, and won't means will. Deb was placed at the right time, for the right reason, for the right season in the Brown Deer School District. She has successfully traversed the landscape of a suburban school district where the shift in demographics evolved from a homogeneous population to one that is truly reflective of the diverse America that exists today. Deb is a ray of hope. She is a beacon of light and leads like the sun that never sets. She is an exemplary model of what it means to inspire, to innovate, and to lead. And to Deb, we say to you today, congratulations on already being an amazing AASA president. Thank you. So, on behalf of the Brown Deer family, we have a token of our appreciation for your leadership. So Barb Fleming is offering flowers on behalf of the Brown Deer community, the school district, and all of our stakeholders. Deb, we wish you much success on your journey, and we know that the best is yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here this evening. It's truly an honor to be here, representing my family. We're an entourage, in just in case you didn't notice. And all of us who work in these leadership roles know how often we've had to miss family events because of a board meeting or something else, a school event, and I'm just so grateful that they're all here tonight. My Brown Deer family, from the school district of Brown Deer and the village of Brown Deer, and of course the AASA family. I want to thank my husband, Ron, and his parents, Ron Sr. and Bev, for supporting me on this journey. My sisters, Dawn and Deanna, her husband, Johnny, and my nieces and nephews, Jordan, Francesca, Jimmy, Christina, Lisa, and great-nephew, Lucas. Lucas, you were amazing. That's his favorite word. Even though Lucas's mom, Lisa, could not be here today, she's my godchild, I know she's here in spirit. We are a family that believes in education and working in jobs that bring us passion. Lisa is a 4th grade teacher, an elementary school teacher in Illinois, and Christina was just named principal of a Ciro Roberto Clemente K-8 elementary school outside of Chicago. Congratulations, Christina. She starts Monday. I am so proud of my nieces who both took very different pathways to become an educator. As leaders, we all need to promote the teaching and leading professions. It is up to us to eliminate those shortages across the country by inspiring others into our work. Team Brown Deer is in the house, and I think you witnessed that today. We're so proud of you. I hope you enjoyed the slideshow from our graduation ceremony that highlights the moments that make our school district so special. As Monica said, Brown Deer Public Schools is a first-tier suburb of Milwaukee. We serve over 1,600 students in one of the most diverse school districts in the state of Wisconsin, with over 80% students of color and a growing poverty rate of 50%. Like all of you, we believe in serving the whole child with social emotional well-being as a priority for high academic achievement. This is what our kids need and deserve. I want to thank especially Julian Johnson and Zaire Nash for sharing your phenomenal musical talents with us this evening. Let's give them another round of applause. Our kids are the future, and we're all very proud of every one of you. I also want to do a special shout out to my Brown Deer School Board members, Dorothea Macon and Rachel Ledesma. Where are you? There you are. Stand up. Stand up. All right. All right. Awesome. And to our village president, Wanda Montgomery, the first African American woman to serve in that role in Brown Deer. Congratulations, Wanda. Thank you, ladies, for your dedication to the children and families of our village. Your vision is leading us to a greater quality of life in Brown Deer. I'm also so glad that you've had a chance to meet President of the Education Foundation, Barbara Fleming, this evening, whose mission has been to provide unconditional support to the children of the school district in establishing the first educational foundation of Brown Deer. A former board member, a school district employee, and a very dedicated volunteer, the Ed Foundation has helped to ensure over $1 million of scholarship directed to our students and teachers. And her daughter, Megan, is also an elementary school teacher at Elmbrook School District in Wisconsin. So thank you, Megan. Thank you, Barb. We all know how vital it is to surround ourselves with smart, action-oriented, and passionate colleagues. Some of my leadership team is also here tonight. Courtney, Kara, Monica. I could not do my job without your unconditional support and your leadership. Thank you to both Monica and Keith for those kind words. And as Keith said, he's still my mentor. No matter how old I am and how many districts I've been, you're still my mentor. And I really appreciate all the love and care and support you've given me on my leadership journey. Advancing system and school innovation takes partnerships with similar goals, or partners with similar goals. And I'd like to thank 3 very special Brown Deer partners here this evening. Special colleagues Dan Davis, Nick Kent, Jim McCary, who have believed in the Brown Deer community despite all the challenges and changing community to help our kids be part of learning environments that has created a legacy of innovation and will inspire learning for many years to come. So thank you to our very special business partners. I also want to thank AASA past presidents, and especially Chris Gaines and Gail Pletnick for supporting me on this journey. and for your continued leadership using personalized learning in their collective school districts. I'd also like to thank a couple other Wisconsin presidents, Sarah Jerome, Pat Newdecker, and of course, Carl Hertz, who is here this evening. I'm very honored to be the 4th president of AASA from the great state of Wisconsin. And speaking of Wisconsin, special shout out to my Wisconsin colleagues on the governing board who inspired me to run for president. Aaron, Chris, Nick, Eric, and of course, John Bales, Executive Director of our State Superintendent's Group on Wisconsin. Thank you. And thank you to Dan Domenech, our esteemed leader of AASA, who has promoted not only our organization, but has promoted women leadership under his watch. Amy Sickle is here tonight as the 4th president, Gail, the 5th president, I'm the 6th president, and we're making history with 7th president, Christy Senvik. So women leaders do matter. So thank you, Dan. Thank you. And finally, I realize I stand before you and the rest of the evening's events. So with that, I will just have a few more thoughts for you. As AASA president, I will bring my passion for advocacy to inspire your leadership. I will innovate for continued growth and improvement and to lead greatly through our partnerships and collaboration, because it truly does take a village. What we have in common is much greater than anything that would divide us. No matter where we come from, all of our leadership matters. We are champions of education. So in closing, thank you all for your dedication to our profession, for your love of public education. Be intentional and steadfast in your leadership of equity for all children. As AASA members, let us inspire, innovate, and lead greatly. Thank you.